All right, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So this is now my third reaction review, Shonen Jump review of the week. So already recorded Haikyuu and Promised Neverland. Both are uploading right now and should be out within the hour. So like I did in those two videos, just a couple of quick housekeeping items before we dive into it. Uh, Excuse me. So I've already recorded a Battle Angel Alita read through for the weekend. So I'm going to do my best to get another one out tonight along with Vinland Saga. I'm going to be prioritizing Alita, so Vinland Saga might be out tomorrow, depending on timing and everything else, how that works out today. So yeah, apart from that, I will be back to reviewing and reacting to Promised Neverland starting this week as well, now that we're probably getting into the end game kind of scenarios. So let's look forward to that coming back going forward from here on out. Apart from that, I want to give a shout out to my good friend, the Black Manga Critic on Twitter, who's just done a live stream recently, and he's going to do start two new series on his channel. One is a Vinland Saga read through, and one is a Basara read through. So if you haven't already, I highly encourage anyone to go and follow him on his YouTube channel at the Black Manga Critic, and give him a follow on Twitter at the Manga Scholar. He's an absolutely phenomenal person, one of my best friends on here, and I'm super excited to get his thoughts on Vinland Saga, which is a series that's near and dear to me, and Basara I've heard a lot of good things about. It's a series I hope to eventually also kind of tackle on this channel. So go give him some love and support on there as he starts those journeys next week. But without further ado, let us dive into One Piece chapter 958, The Promised Port. And we have translation Stephen Paul, lettering by Vanessa Satone. And I just want to comment that this week, thankfully, I was not spoiled on anything regarding this chapter, so going in completely blind for once. So we have Gang Badges Oh My Family, Volume 8. Your sisters? Lola went to Dressrosa a few days ago. And you see all of them just commenting surprise as the musician guitar man tells them that Lola was here. Now this is, the phrasing on that is weird because it's saying Lola went to Dressrosa a few days ago, and aren't they at Dressrosa right now? So shouldn't it be Lola went through Dressrosa a few days ago? Yeah, but whatever. So it looks like Oda's trying to speed this up, so Lola, they're not going to have to go all the way back to Thriller Bark to find Lola. So Bej and Ko will probably pick her up relatively soon. So they'll either find her on Dressrosa, I suppose. Maybe this is a port town, that's why they're calling it, saying she went to Dressrosa. So they'll probably pick her up from here, head back to the New World from there, and then reunite with Big Mom and them on Elbaf. So we have, we're still not back to Act 3 of Wano yet. So we have not long before the world entered the great age of piracy. And you see you see Roger's ship. And it goes, what was it called? God, I can't even remember the name of his ship. I'm glad that I came with you, Roger. And Roger's like, what? What are you saying, Oden? We're the ones who are grateful for you. And you have Crocus in the back growing, you've had too much to drink, Roger. You need to slow down. You see that Roger is quite drunk, and he goes, shut up! You think I need advice from an alcoholic doctor? And you see him and Crocus just throwing down. And Raleigh's like, you need any help, Oden? And Buggy and Shanks are like, I'm willing to lend you a hand if you need it, Oden. Don't be an idiot, only drag him down. But seriously, Oden, if you want me to help you. You see Oden just sitting on the brow of the ship, drinking some sake. Going, Raleigh, Red Taro, Buggy Jiro, I thank you, but this is something that we of the Kozuki clan must solve on our own. And you have Buggy going, why do I have to be Jiro? That means second son. And Oden continues, I've always had my reservations about why the land of Wano must keep its borders closed. I can't leave the country behind, then come back and demand, make me the shogun. But I will find a way to pass this will on. So then he finishes drinking, he salutes with his cup, and you see the Roger Pirates cheering. he goes, I shall work with my excellent vassals I left back home to open the land of Wano and wait for a future in 20 years from now. Oh my God. And you have, let's do it, Oden. He's like, we shall, Roger. As they're all just cheering. And then you hear, and then 25 years passed. And you see a clack, dum, 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 as the drums, the taiko drums, I think, start beating. And we have now, finally, Wano Act 3. And you see a flute player is now accompanying Komurasaki on the shamisen as the curtains part. And you have, this is Hakumai, Habu Port. And you have Orochi in his little procession. He's going, what a fine day. The weather itself is celebrating me. Mwahahaha. It's like, it's perfect weather for a feast. Well done, Shogun Orochi. And you see, was it Fukurorujo, the big forehead ninja guy, going, Kiyoshiro will be watching over the capital this time. Enjoy yourselves. And you see the samurai that they introduced in the prior chapter, whose names I did not bother remembering, but it's the scruffy blonde-haired one, and the bald one wearing the Kasa hat, and the one that wearing what looks like a football helmet with the little half-moon symbol. Goes, poor sucker, he doesn't get to join in the fun. And you have, this port is the largest in Wano. It features a massive wharf lined with maple trees. And you have just people on the sides watching this huge barge with almost this little mini castle built onto it, which I'm guessing is Orochi's ship, going, Shogun Orochi, have a good trip. Take care, my lord. You have where the ships depart through the stunning vermilion curtain of falling leaves. So this will probably look really, really gorgeous in the anime, you know, just having red leaves floating everywhere. Then you have Orochi on the deck of the ship going, oh, come on, what the hell happened here? Hold on. Going, bring me sake. I'll drink to the sight of these maple leaves. And then one of the henchmen goes, not until we meet Lord Kaido, Shogun. And he goes, who cares? He's drunk already. And he goes, we've got a feast for 40,000 ahead. It'll be a lively one this year. And you have once a year on the island of Onigashima, the two men who rule over Wano meet to hold a great feast for both of their armies. As you see Orochi's progression just making its way towards Onigashima. And you have in the next page, meanwhile in the flower capital, drink and be merry. Today is the fire festival in the capital. It's the one time of year that drinks can flow freely. Bring out the sake. And you have a little kid going, buy me an apple candy, mommy. And you have someone going, hurry up, dear, it's already starting. Oh, you have the other courtesans getting ready. And one of them's doing her hair and makeup going, oh, why can't I get my bangs to sit right? Is that Nami? Or no, it's just another Nami clone with freckles. And you have dance, 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 and then you see a procession making its way through the city. You have what a crystal clear sky. We'll see a full moon tonight, I bet. Ooh, I wonder if that's going to be important. So you have the seasons of Wano are separated in the extreme by region, and the daily weather is equally different by location. So the sky's complexion changes from place to place. This sounds like bullshit. Honestly, like this sounds like bullshit for something Oda's setting up. You have Udon Wano, Tokage Port, gathering place for the battle, and you see thunder clouds overhead, and you see lightning striking down, and heavy rain. And you see the 9 scabbards at the port, and you see crashing waves everywhere, stormy seas. And you have Shinobu crying, Master Kin, we can't do this tonight. And Momonosuke's like, let us try another day. Please, Kinemon. And you see Raizo going, not a single ship. And Unurashi's like, so, the cat didn't make it in time? Ooh. Okay, now. So, it looks like Okiku is wearing a very, traditional looking samurai outfit. Like, she is geared up in battle gear. And I'm curious why, because all the others are wearing kind of like their normal kimonos and stuff, and Okiko looks like she's about to like mess shit up. Like she has a demon mask. Like it doesn't look like the Hanya mask. She's got the demon mask with like the two fangs sticking out. So I'm curious if this is also part of the persona and like how she was perceived in Wano. But you have the God. Why can't I remember uh, the Kappa's name? I can't remember his name. Goes, yet there wasn't a single person at the excavation camp. And Conjure's like, where are our 4,000 soldiers? And Ashura's like, there are signs that this port was attacked. Yeah, you saw off to the side, original side, you see the wood has been torn apart. And you see the docking area looks like it's been... Oh, Kawamatsu, that's the Kappa's name. Kawamatsu. And you see the sport does look like it's in ruins. And Kinemon pulls out the little snail phone. He goes, the snail is not responding. We cannot contact anyone. It is evening on the day of the fire festival at Tokage Port. This is the promised port. Why is no one here? Where have they all gone? What in the world has happened in the span of just a single day? And you see... Is that Uda? Oh no, you see where they're standing. You see some wrecked ships off to the side. You see wrecked houses and everything off to the side as well. I see broken barrels, destroyed ships, so it looks like something happened to the port. He goes, what in the world has happened in the span of just a single day? Has something happened to everyone? And you see Wait in the shower cap, or the flower capital, you see heave ho, as everyone's playing along and celebrating. And Kinemon's crying out, Sir Luffy, where are you? Sir Hyogoro, please come in. Dogstorm's Musketeers, Sir Law, Jubuyamon of Kibi. We are the vassals of Kozuki Oden. We have come from 20 years in the past to carry out the wishes for our liege lord. The time has come for us to spend the lives that should have perished back then. But our lives alone are not enough. The enemy numbers 40,000. We need more help. And you see Kinemon just looking anguished, tears gushing down his face. And Ashura calls out, more help! Enough, Kinemon! And you see Shinobu just going, ah! Let's just look at the sea and sky. The heavens have turned against us. There will be no help. And Kanjuro's like, then I can only assume something has happened to them. And you see Dogstorm's gone off to the side. And he's picking out a boat from the wreckage. And he goes, there's a small boat here. We can use it. And Momonosuke's like, what are you doing, Dogstorm? Stop this! And you see on Onigashima, the party's in full swing. And you have the incident already happened the previous night. Oh boy, alright. I wish I could be excited about the potential implications of this. Like, I did not think that this was how the failure of the raid was going to play out. So I guess props to Oda for, actually putting out a decent surprise in how everything's played out thus far. I guess I shouldn't be too surprised that this is the way it's gonna go. But I wish, like, Oda's already dropping the hints that, the Sulong form is going to happen tonight. So I know there was kind of debate in the fandom as to, will the attack happen on the Fire Festival? Will the Straw Hats and everyone succeed? Will everything go through? Or, the other half of the fandom has been like, maybe, maybe because Drake said that, Straw Hat Luffy's survival chance 1 month from now is like 14% or something. A lot of people have also been speculating that this means that the raid will fail and that they'll have to kind of regroup and somehow do something else. And, it'll happen again in 2 weeks at the end of the month. When that happens, given that the full moon is now out tonight, I'm going to hazard a guess and say that the raid is probably going to go through tonight. Because in a month, like in 2 more weeks, the full moon wouldn't be out. The Minx wouldn't be able to access their Sulong form, which would of course have to be a necessary component of the Straw Hats Alliance's strike back against Kaido's forces. There are definitely ways Oda could get around that. Like that could be another kind of surprise twist where it turns out that the raid did fail and the Minx were like, oh no, our ace is gone now because we can't do Sulong. I can think of ways Oda could get around that, just based on ideas I've had about the Minx, Sulong being related to Zoan Awakening. So I wouldn't completely toss out the idea of potentially the raid being put off until 2 weeks from now. But this chapter just makes it seem very, very likely that it will happen tonight. Speculation wise as to what happened, to everyone else. The top idea that came to my head was maybe Orochi redistributed the flyers with, now that he knows what the message is and what it stands for, he redistributed it and had them gather at another port and said, oh, the timing is going to change or something else. I don't think that's likely. To me, the more likely scenario is he just sent out a bunch of ninjas during the night to basically raid the hideout and capture everyone. So I'm interested to see if we're going to see a prison break with the 9 scabbards, maybe the Straw Hats, and Cat Viper and everyone else breaking out the retainers and everyone else. The only other idea I had was potentially with the Minx. If the Minx are imprisoned tonight and they're somehow able to gaze up at the moon sometime during the imprisonment, that could be the other way this plays out, is the Minx break out with Sulong, break out of prison and go towards the raid and see what happens. I don't know, like it honestly could go any number of ways from here. I'm not really going to try to speculate too much. I think the biggest thing for me about why I'm not excited is I just have lost so much faith in Oda to kind of deliver in a meaningful manner with regards to the story going forward. So, like, that is what kind of holds me back from my enthusiasm, where I'm like, all right, I want to believe that the outcome from this is going to be compelling and interesting, but I've also been burned too badly by that. And this chapter kind of also reinforced something I've been talking about consistently since Wano happened, is that I don't really feel anything for Kinemon or the Scabbards emotion. Like there's no emotional connection for me to them. For the failure of this moment to have really impacted. Like Oda's setting up everything in this chapter. The emotions are there, the facial expressions of the characters are there, everything. He's got all the pieces, but just putting them together doesn't really give it that spark that makes you kind of connect with the characters. And this has been a consistent problem since the start of Wano, where I've said, the characters have not been taking the threats seriously, and this was always going to bite them in the ass. And then we're again seeing this with Oden at the start of the arc, where Oda is doing too much. Oda is too in love with the mystery and intrigue, and so he keeps building and building and building. And by the time all the anticipation is built up, and you finally get the reveal of who these characters are, what they stand for, and everything else, I feel like it loses a lot of the impact because you have so much anticipation and ideas regarding the character and what their motives and everything are, that by the time you get the actuality versus what you imagine them to be, the disconnect between that kind of sours it a little bit. So like the fact that like Oda's overselling this whole idea of like everyone loves Oden, oh my god, he's so perfect, he's the greatest ruler ever, oh blah blah blah, like he's really overselling it too much. Like he's building up Oden to be like too much of like a messiah figure in this. So I'm really again not feeling him as a multi-dimensional character, but I guess that's something I have to kind of wait until we actually get his backstory. I'm gonna find out who Oden really was until I kind of pass judgment on that. So yeah, I think overall I'll watch to see where it is, but right now I'm not really super intrigued by it. But that is just purely my professional opinion on this. So if you feel free to disagree with my take on it, I would love to be wrong and actually have a super impactful moment come out of this, but not holding my breath regarding that. But it's on break next week, so I guess I'll find out in 2 weeks what's going on. And until then, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.